Hey guys, hope you're doing well. We are back with another What Sold video. There's a really cool fan buy. You probably saw in the title here, so hopefully you guys will see that. It's at the end. It happens in the last part if you want to skip ahead. But for everyone else, it's still a really good week, some strong sales. I hope these types of videos are helping out. Just giving you an idea of what I'm actually selling, what I'm selling it for too, to see if it might be worth it for your business model. And hopefully in the videos you'll pick up one or two things that you hadn't seen before you might be able to make some money on. So if you have any questions, let me know. Please make comments. I do sometimes take a few days to get back to them. I apologize. It's just I'm pretty busy here with the kids, the wife, full-time job, and eBay and stuff at the church, all kinds of stuff. So I stay pretty busy, but I do try to respond to everybody. It just takes me some time before I have some nice quiet time to sit down and respond. But I hope you guys enjoy and take care out there. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, back with the sales update for Monday. Bit of a slower day. I have one more thing I think to show you guys. Should be in the next clip, but had a lot of stuff sell today, Tuesday, so we're already doing well and doing better than Monday. The things that did sell, this is a little $10 Mattel charger here, model 33005. Now these usually sell for 10 to 15 bucks depending on which one you have. That was just thrown in a big box of video games I had bought, so I listed it. Here's a Civic hatchback, 1986 manual. This one's not as great, but it sold for 20 shipped, kind of beat up. Inside's not too bad, but there just wasn't a lot of value in that, but got 20 shipped on that. Here's a Teletubby. I guess it works. A couple marks and scuffs on it, but that one I think, that's a vintage one. I think it sold for like, I don't know, 18 to 20 shipped, something like that. And then lastly, all these Care Bears. There's like 14 of them or something. You can kind of see there's a bunch of them here. They sold for 70 shipped. I had paid 15 bucks for the whole bag, a whole bag of them. After further examination, a lot of them have stains. You can see stains there, some on this guy, some here. So not in great condition. So I listed them as is in one big lot, and they sold for 70 shipped. I probably wouldn't buy this particular batch again just because too many of them have marks on them where, they will sell, but it took a lot longer to sell them. I'd rather find ones that are in a lot better condition or have very minor wear, if any, and then sell them like that. So they do still sell in lots though if you can find them. So 70 shipped on these, and they're super light, so even though there's a bunch of them, you can squeeze a bunch of them into a box and kind of pack them in there, and the weight's still pretty low. So we'll get these packed up, and there should be one more thing to everyone, final sale for Monday, this Motorola Porta Pocket. It goes to like a little walkie-talkie type radio thing. This is like a charger for it. Yeah, buddy, I love you too. That's my son just chiming in. Always wanted to be a part of the video, but I have 3 of these, and I also sold the actual radios. They were broken, but I sold those for parts for 30. I paid 10 for everything, and then I have 3 of these. This one sold for 28. Hey everyone, back with the sales update for Tuesday. Pretty good day here, and I still have one more thing at least to show you guys before it's all said and done, and maybe a couple more sales will come through. So we'll jump right in. Off the top, we have this 1967 passenger car maintenance and lubrication manual. This is something that came out of the big manual lot. Paid 500 bucks. You guys have known about it, or if we've already sold quite a bit so far. This is just a little small manual that was in there. I listed it for 10 shipped, and it sold. So not the best one, but still easy money at this point. We've also sold this Walt Disney The Three Musketeers DVD, brand new sealed. Still at a $10 Best Buy thing. I didn't even take it off. I bought this at a thrift store, I think for $2.99 plus tax or whatever, and it sold for like 12 shipped or something like that. Not a great deal, but it was brand new sealed. A small little cut there, but I knew it would sell based on what the comp showed, so pretty good. We have a Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, like a jersey. It's not an official one. It's made by the brand The Coolest Game. I mean, it's not like a hockey jersey. It's more like a baseball style jersey. You'll see on the screen. It actually had some stains on here, but it's Mighty Ducks, which is pretty popular still, and it's a 3XL, I believe. So those two combinations, and hockey season I think is starting back up. So that sold for a best offer of 40. It came out of the big lot of stuff I bought from Storage Unit Guy one time. We'll go over here to check out this stuff. These are duck window kits. I have 6 of them. I listed them as a set of 5 because one was open. The other 5 were sealed. I'm going to include the one that's open there as well, just to give them a little extra, and put a note that I had this one as well. I'm just throwing it in for free. They can keep it if they'd like. I paid, I think, 10 bucks for these. They've taken forever to sell. They finally sold for a best offer of 60 shipped. So super happy about that. Here's a Kate Spade of New York glasses case. See if I can open this with one hand. Ta-da, we did. Right there. This is a little loose, but we listed this puppy and it sold for like 12 shipped. This particular one I've sold before and I usually get about 10 to 12 shipped for it. So pretty good there. Here's a bowling ball. It's a Coors Light. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. It has already been drilled before, which is kind of the downside. You want the ones that are undrilled if possible. This was $10 at a garage sale, and I ended up selling it for $75 shipped on a best offer. So this will actually go in a box similar to this one right here. It's a 10 by 10 by 10, I believe. Even though it's heavy, it's like a 10-pound ball, it's pretty compact, so you can bubble wrap it and then put it in here in the big box and it'll be fine. So here are some vintage recipe cards. I've seen these ones in these plastic containers do well. I paid $4 for this, and it had some they're like cracks, but they're not all the way through on here, and there's one crack in the back down here. Listed it in that condition. It's still sold for $40 shipped. Most people want it for all the recipes, so pretty cool there. I have to be very careful though when wrapping this one up. We don't want to have any further damage. So $40 shipped. I had paid $4. This one will go in a box and probably go pirate ship based on the weight and the size. And then lastly, one person bought both of these RC cars. Sorry about the focusing issues. My hand's getting in the way. This big one right here, as you guys can see, these both came out of a lot with storage unit guy. When I spent that $1,600, he threw in a big box of RC stuff and bodies and different tires and parts, and I've been just selling these individual units as is. You can see there's a lot of damage. It's got a crack up there. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Yeah. And you can see it's dusty and nasty, but some people do take these, they fix them up, they take parts off them. So I listed it as is for parts for like $120 or best offer. I knew that was way high. I was just trying to see what the market was like. I listed this one for $100 shipped. This one, again, it looks like it's not in good shape. It's actually sticky, like maybe it got oil or something on it in some parts of it. This one for $100 or best offer, like this one for $120 or best offer. Somebody offered for both of them, he offered $85 for this one and $65 for this one, putting them at $150, which I gladly accepted. I'll pack both of these up, try to fit them in the same box to go FedEx. And I messaged them and I have one more, a little one like this left, and I said I would take $50 for it if he wanted it, just to get rid of it. He said he would, but then he never made an offer or bought it. So I'm going to see what he wants to do. Even if I ship these two out together, that one is small like this, so it won't cost too much to ship, pirate ship. But super happy with these because I don't know anything about them. Threw them up there, and if I do get $50 for that one, that's $300 in sales. Out of that $1,600, that was kind of free throw-ins at the end. So awesome deal there. So that's all I have for you guys right now, and I'll show you guys what else sold after this. Hey everybody, final sale from Tuesday. This is a LiftMaster 485 LM battery backup. I have 5 or 6 of these, I think. I paid $50 for all of them. They're all brand new, but the boxes are opened. I see it's still brand new in there with the paperwork and everything. This sold for $33 shipped. It'll go probably priority. It's definitely overbound a couple pounds, but we'll ship it probably pirate ship. So hopefully we'll sell the rest pretty soon. Hey everyone, back with the sales update for Wednesday. Awesome day here. It's like over $600 in sales. There's still one more item to show you guys, and hopefully some other things will sell before the end of the night. What did sell the best thing is up here, this custom leather jacket. It's got these like studs in it that you can see when you put them through, you get stuff like that. It's made by Interstate Leather, which I think is just a regular jacket brand. It's got all these pins. It's got like writing on here. That's been obviously custom put on. This thing is a size 42. I'm going to flip it around to show you guys the back. So sorry about the bad camera work. By the way, I'm not a photographer, so bear with me. So you can see the back, a bunch of studding on the back. This thing sold, I paid $20 for it from an estate sale guy. Sorry, a storage unit guy. He sells at garage sales. He just started buying storage units this past couple months, and I've kind of met with him and been buying stuff pretty much every sale he has, trying to build that relationship. That's usually how I started. I'll buy a couple things from them. Eventually we exchange numbers, and then they're kind of looking for stuff for me, and I kind of become a contact for them too. So hopefully that will happen. But on this was $20 from him. I paid full price. I knew it would be worth something. This thing sold for $160 on a best offer. Had it listed at $200, which was high, but I wanted to see kind of what the offers were, and $160 takes it. So awesome deal there. Hopefully there'll be no issues with the sizing, but I'm sure the person will like it. We also sold this Catching Fire. This is Finnick. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Finnick, Barbie collection. I got 3 of these for, that's my son's football that he threw up here, so sorry about that. But they were $5 each, and I looked them. I wasn't going to buy them at this new thrift store, but I decided to look them up, and they sell for like 30. They sold from 35 to 40 each. Mine had some boxware, so I sold mine for 37 shipped, and I have 3 of them, so hopefully the other ones will sell here pretty soon, but 37 shipped for that guy. Some Converse, like corduroy, like colored shoes here. These were $4 at a thrift store. I bought a bunch of shoes that day. Almost all of them were $4, and those sold for 30 shipped on a best offer. They should fit in the padded flat rate. Here's a Wii console, GameCube controller ports there. This one is tested and working. No cable, sold for 30 shipped. We'll put it in the padded flat rate. Here's a 360 network adapter. These still sell. Sold within about 4 days for 18 shipped or something like that. Great deal. Here's a Thomas the Train. This is a wooden one. This is Jack, I think is his name. Oh, there it is. On the bottom, duh. Jack. He was in a big lot of Thomas that my son had, and I was just kind of selling them off because he doesn't play with them anymore. That guy sold for 10 shipped by himself. Here is a Papermate. Like gold, it's not gold, it's like gold tone, I guess, with these little hearts. It's got little hearts in here. I bought a bunch of old pencils for like $1 for a whole bag of them, and then this one sold for 15 shipped, so on a best offer, so pretty cool there. This is Miami Heat Dwayne Wade Youth, I think large, yeah, Youth large Reebok jersey. Basketball season's just starting up. This sold full price, 25 shipped. I had paid 5. Video game, the only actual game itself, this is The Godfather 2. This sold for like 12 or 13 shipped for $3.60, so that's a good deal there. We sold a Lincoln Continental 1968 shop supplement. This is from the big manual lot. This sold for 20 shipped on a best offer. I have like 3 or 4 copies of those, so hopefully some other ones will sell. Here's an NIV Zondervan study Bible. This was, I think, a couple bucks, $3 or $4 in the States, I believe. It sold full price for 35 shipped. Bibles do sell. It's all about finding out which ones do. Your Pew Bibles, your big family Bibles, they aren't selling anymore. It's usually special study editions or ones from certain different parts of the religion, maybe a certain kind of study that they have, or like some are like red letter and stuff is something people used to look for, but you really want like the large print ones or the pulpit Bibles, different things like that, just different editions that are unique and you're not going to find in your common Bible, and those are the ones that sell. A good tip is if you see someone's name inscribed on here, those will still sell too. Some people don't want to buy them because of the name, but I've sold a bunch that had names because that particular type of Bible was desirable by the person buying, so keep that in mind. Another shop manual. This one is from the $500 lot. It's an Acura sealed service manual for the 0304 MDX. I think it's sold like 100 or 90 something shipped, so pretty good deal there. Again, paid $500 for everything. With this sale, we're probably at almost 2,000 if we're not at 2,000 and manual sales. So it's been awesome, and we still have shelves of them in the storage unit, so a bunch. And then lastly, this is another shop manual, as it says on the front, but this goes to a Komatsu PC 300-7. It's a hydraulic excavator. I bought a bunch of these from one guy on OfferUp. He had a bunch of heavy machinery, like excavators and backhoes and stuff, manuals he was selling. I paid $90 for all of them. There was supposed to be a cat one in there that went to some big cat backhoe thing. When I got there, I didn't double check. The cat one wasn't there. And I kind of factored in the price because that one was worth about $300. Instead, I had all these Komatsus, and I had some Bobcat ones and stuff. And I think I've sold, I don't know, $250 to $300 worth of stuff so far. I had paid $90, so we're well in the profits. And I have about 4 or 5 of these manuals left. So eventually, they should all sell for anywhere from, I don't know, $50 to $120. Hey everyone, here's another item that was supposed to be in the What Sold clip. This is this Ashnet standard putter. I bought a bunch of golf clubs for $25, mainly because it had some black dot ping irons in there. The I2s or whatever is what they're called. And in there was this putter and a couple other clubs that turned out to have some additional value. This one sold within 1 day. for 35 shipped. So some putters people will pay up for depending on what it is. Plus people get superstitious about what putter they use and all that. So this one sold for 35 shipped. We'll get it packed up and out of here. Everyone, back with sales update for Thursday. I think I have like 9 sales right here to show you guys, but I also have a couple more that sold that I gotta get from storage. So we'll jump right in. We have the PS2 Slim. This one with the controller and 2 core that ended up selling for 60 shipped. That came out of the big $1,600 buy. So we're, I think now, after we sold all that RC stuff, we're like $1,200 to $1,300 in sales. So we're slowly getting our money back. There's still a ton of stuff to sell and still have a whole box, big plastic bin of video game stuff to list. So we got some work to do. Xbox 360, this one sold for 50 shipped. It's tested and works. Comes with an HDMI cable, the power cord, but no controllers, no games. 50 shipped on that. Some Eureka disposable vacuum bags, 3 packs here. Those sold for 12 shipped. They were $1.50. They should still go first class. They're super light. Couple of smalls, a little Nikon camera. It works, but the screen here is all damaged. It comes up all blurry and messed up. So that's sold for 12 shipped. Here's a Nikon Hyper Pack. This goes like a trimmer pack or a rumble pack for a 64. This one sold for 18 shipped, which is actually more than I get for the Nintendo version. This one's, I guess, a little bit more valuable. Here's an iRiver. This is an MP3 player. It doesn't work though. It's got an issue down in there with one of the pins. So the connector doesn't connect well, so I sold it as is for parts for 10 shipped. If you get a good one of these that works, you can get 20, 30, 40 bucks for an old MP3 player. Here is a Fisher Price little coin from the cash register. This is a vintage one. It sold for 8 shipped by itself. And then lastly, right here is a bunch of RC car bodies. Most of these have scratches, damage. Some are cracked. They're dirty. These came out of the big $1,600 buy as well. I had a bunch of RC stuff he threw in. Probably saw in the last clip or the clip before that, we had sold $150 worth of RCs. We sold another one for $100 even before that, and then I took a best offer of $45 for all this. I didn't think these had really any value. I just threw them up there to see. I listed them like 80 bucks or something more best offer. I wanted to try to get 50 for shipping purposes, but the guy said 45 was the best he would do. He's in Illinois, so we're going to ship them out to him. The condition says they're poor, they're beat up, they're only good for repair or parts, but happy to get rid of them for 45. Even if it costs me 20, 25 to ship it and we only make 10, 15 bucks, it's free money at this point because I was going to throw these away otherwise. So I'm happy about that. And then I'll show you guys what else. Well, I forgot to show this part of the clip, in the clip. This is a 1978 truck shop manual for the Ford. It's the chassis volume. This came out of the big manual lot. Paid 500 bucks for it. I've talked about it a bunch of times, but this was out of there. I forgot to mention in the last clip, but it sold for 35 shipped on a best offer. It's kind of beat up. It was listed at 45. Someone came through at 35. There's no need to negotiate. It just goes on a bull mailer, and we'll get it out of here. Hey everyone, back with the final sales from Thursday. 3 of them. This is a Genie and Telecode garage door remote. It sold for 12 shipped. Does work. Garage door remotes do really well. A lot of people don't realize that the newer remotes, that's my son. Yeah, I know. He's chiming in. They don't realize that the new remotes actually do work with a lot of the garage doors. Not all of them. So people will go and buy the exact one they had thinking that's the only option. So it's worth it to have the old ones. I know. Tell me about it, guy. And then here's a Polaroid SX70. This is the brown leather one. This one does really well. I'm not going to open it up because I'm running out of time. This was 25 bucks at an estate. So it's actually 50 half off, 25. Sold it for 95 shipped. It's going global shipping program. And lastly, these are Pioneer. There's 10 of them. These are the 6-disc like little cartridges that you can put in the system. So I bought a box that had like almost 70 of these in there. And I paid 20 bucks for all of them. She was asking $2 a piece. So do the math, that's 140 is what it would have been each. And then I said, well, what about a price for everything? And she just said, how about 20 bucks? And I was like, okay, deal. And I've already sold, this is my second one. They both sold for 57 shipped, lots of 10. I usually list like 3 lots of 10 at a time. And then once I clear them out, then I'll kind of re-bump it up. They are a little bit different because some of them have different, some of them have dart cases over them and they have different numbers on the front. So I'm actually not doing a multi-quantity listing just because they're not exactly the same. But good deal there, 57. Everyone, back with the sales update for the weekend. This is Friday through Sunday sales. We have quite a bit here. It's like 37, 38, I think, and there's a couple to show you that are at storage that sold after I already brought everything back. So pretty good amount of stuff. So we'll jump right in here and get going. Pardon if I don't remember the exact price and everything. When it's this many sales, sometimes I forget what everything ends up selling for. So just bear with me. You'll see on the screen, so you can always fact check me there. So we're gonna actually leave this guy because this is the creme de la creme here, so we'll leave him for last, but we'll jump in everything else. We got this Star Wars Legacy collection. This is from the big $1,600 toy video game buy and RC car buy. He sold for 23, shipped on a best offer. Microsoft Office 2000 small business. There is a CD key there. That one sold for 15, shipped. Old software does sell, just depends on what type it is and then kind of what you can get for it. Sometimes it takes a while. This is a Lionel Disneyland, I think 35th anniversary train. I bought 20 of these I bought 3 of these G-scale trains, different ones for 20 bucks at an estate sale. The first one I think sold for 45 or 50, something like that, 60. That one just took a best offer of 50 on, and I have one more left. So if we can get 150, get 50 for that one, that would be great. G-scale stuff can do well because it's a little bit less common than some of the typical stuff you see like HO scale, but it just depends on what it is. I sold that as is because I don't know if it works. Here's some Converse. These are some like USA patriotic American flag theme ones. Those were $5. They didn't have laces, but the laces were actually inside the shoe, so they were there. They ended up selling for a best offer. I sent a best offer to one watcher for $35, and they took it, so that was awesome. Here's a Vertex Standard, a little walkie-talkie. This was thrown in a big box that I bought for, I think, 27 bucks. Bunch of stuff in there. This is the first thing I think to sell out of there. This sold for 23, shipped. Sorry, the focusing isn't great. It's a VXD 720. It does not work. It's sold for parts. It may work, but I sold for parts. A good one can go for almost 90 bucks. Some of them have sold. Mine's kind of beat up and it has some wear, so I just listed it as is for 22 or 23 shipped, and it sold. So that's okay. It'll go to pad a flat rate. We'll make 10 bucks off it, maybe 12. Here's a Cobra 38 WXST. This is like a little one of those kind of radios that can like get into CB type stuff and everything. I sold this once before. I got 2 of them. I paid, I think, 20 bucks for 2 of them. I sold it. The lady had it for like 29 days, returned it after her trip, and said it doesn't pick up any of the weather stations. So I tested it out. It seems to work for me, but then when I got it back, or when I tested it out before and it worked fine, I got it back and it wasn't really working. So I don't know if it just died on her or what. It won't pick up any signals now. So I sold it for parts for like 20, 23, 24 ships. So that'll go pad a flat rate as well. This is a little Thomas the Train. It goes to the cranky, the crane. I guess the train goes in here, this thing closed, and he kind of pulls it up. This thing sold for like 16, 15 shipped as a replacement piece. So if you have pieces to a set that are pretty popular, sometimes you're better off just parting out the pieces. A bunch of manuals did sell, and there's still 2 more to show you. This 1996 F&B 700, 800, 900 manual set. As you can see, there's 2 volumes there. That only sold for 20 shipped. It's out of the $500 manual lot. That wasn't the best one. This one, I forgot what it sold for already. Maybe 30, 35, something like that, shipped. This electrical wiring diagram for a 1982 Celica Supra. So, yeah, right there. This 1994 Chevy CK truck, that one sold for, I believe, 70 shipped on a best offer. This is a different one. It came with the same Vertex Standard little walkie over there. I just threw this book in the pile. That sold for 11 shipped. And this was a buy. I bought a bunch of Toyota OEM manuals. I think there were 7 of them in total, and I paid 50 or 60 bucks. And then this one sold for a best offer of 40. I have 1 left. Everyone is sold for like 30 or more, and most have sold for 40 or more. So that was a great deal. Manuals are worth selling, guys. If you haven't figured that out yet. This is a Bose Wave system. This is the CD changer. Sorry for the close-up. Right there, Wave music system. I bought this for $8. It does have a crack right there, as you can see. It's listed. I sold it as is for parts in one night for 57 ships. So a great deal there. Here's a Harry Potter one, Lord Voldemort. It usually comes in a nicer packaging, but this one was opened by my son, which was fine. I didn't put it away properly, and over time it got the packaging got ruined. It sold for like 14 shipped, something like that. In that condition, I listed it as used. My wife bought a bunch of these wands. She paid $5 each. They were all sealed mystery ones. You never know what wand you were gonna get. She bought like 60. And then we ended up selling most wands for anywhere from 19 to 25 shipped. They go first class. And we made a bunch of money. And we opened them up, found out what wand it was, and then listed it as an open box item, but still new. And we sold a bunch of them. We have a couple left that are in complete sets that are waiting on the sell. But that one sold for 15 ships. So that's a retail arbitrage. Here's a bunch of TDK VHS. There's 25 of them there. They're all TDK brand, but there's different styles in there. Those sold for a best offer of 70 shipped. That's not too bad, I guess. Almost $3 per videotape, and I'll probably be able to ship them out, I'm guessing $20. So based on size and maybe pirate chip or something like that, we'll take a look to see if we can get them in there. But overall, not an amazing deal, but if you're getting them for 50 cents, you can get them in bulk like that, you can make some money. Moving on, some McFarlane's dragons here. This is the Ice Dragon, as you can see, and this is the Hunter Dragon. These came out of the $1,600 buy. I opted a lot of them together. They sold for $110 shipped. Great deal there. This also came out of the $1,600 buy. This little Lego, number 30023. It is a Lego Creator Lighthouse. Sold for 18 shipped for that little guy. Why someone would pay $18 for that, I'm not sure, but they did. I'm happy about that. This is a Bose power cord. This sold for... The DC S91 sold for 27 shipped. That was an awesome deal. I bought a bunch of stuff for like $75 from an estate sale company. Bunch of electronics and stuff, and we've already made a couple $100, so it's been awesome. So that just adds to it. Here's also from the $1,600 buy. This is a Patriots Nerf Pro Shot Pro Grip football. Patriots, I'm not a big fan. But if you are, they're still doing well this year, so... good for you guys. But someone bought that. They messaged me and said it was a gift for their son. I had it listed at 100 or best offer. I had offers as high as 50 so far. They offered 30, or not a gift for their son, a gift for their boyfriend. He had it when he was a kid. I countered with 60 because that was kind of my low, and I said, this is the lowest I'll take. I'd love to give it to or sell it to you for the gift, but you got to pay 60. The person did, and I really hope they enjoy it. It definitely is unique. You're not going to find those out there. So 60 shipped on that. Up here is an RC car. I sold a bunch probably sometime in the prior part of this video. I think I sold 2. The same guy bought this one for 50 shipped. I bought all these with the $1,600 buy, a bunch of RC stuff, and we sold $345 worth of junk RC stuff to me that was thrown into the deal for free. So that was cool. Here is a upside down Ford radio with a cassette. I don't know what model it is. It doesn't have it on there. I just sold it as is. It sold for 70 shipped. The older stuff, some of it does really well. One time I sold old radio for a Camaro for like an 80 something, or I don't know what it was, and it sold 90, maybe early 90s, and it sold for like $90 in a day. So some of the really old ones do pretty well. Moving on, here's a iPod Touch box. Usually I don't buy these, but I listed this one because it had the Lennon Legend on the front, and then this sold for like 13 shipped, but it has taken a while to sell. This is a Protect Shine Remington steam iron. This was $4 at an estate sale. I kind of scanned the barcode when I was there, and someone had sold one for like $28 or something like that. I listed mine for 40, and it sold full price. Took about 3 weeks, so a pretty good deal there. This is an Ugly Doll in the box. My wife got this little guy from Savers, I think, for like $3 or $4 when she was doing eBay. She never got around to listing, and then she started doing Amazon. So I finally listed it for $29 shipped, and someone bought it full price. So that was great. Here are 2 clubs. I'm not going to get too crazy with them, but these are King Cobras, the SS350 and the SS3. You'll see them on the screen. Just because I'm kind of running out of time here. Those sold for like 55 shipped or something like that. I think I had $10 in them. They're actually pretty light because it's a driver and a wood there, so they're not super heavy, but they're kind of long. That's the only downside. So, but we'll get those packed up. It'll probably cost $20, $18 to ship them, something like that, and we'll still make some money. A bunch of smalls here. This is a Dyson part here. I don't know what this one's called, but it goes to the Dyson vacuums. If you find an old Dyson, that usually they have yellow ones, purple ones, they're called like the pet ones. I've parted those ones out. I'm sure you could part the other ones out. I just haven't come across them. I paid $15 for 2 vacuums. I usually pull off these pieces, this little elbow piece, the canister, and a couple other things, and you can sell them. This one sold for like 15 shipped, 13 shipped just for that little piece. These are Jaminators. They sold once before, but the listing was canceled. They're little cartridges. You'll see them on the screen. I never unpacked them from the bubble wrap. They sold for 30 shipped. They were just basically a throw-in. Here's a Gizmo Pal. This is a little watch here by Verizon. I sold one before, the blue one. As is, I think I got 30 bucks for that one. I think this one sold for 20 or 25, the pink one. So look out for the Gizmo Pal. Some of them do pretty well. Did sell them as is. Here's a Wii Sports for 15 shipped. Sorry. Wheel of Fortune for the Wii. Only 2 video games, which is kind of crazy. Wheel of Fortune for the Wii sold for 11 shipped. Here's an Asus little power cord. I paid $1 for this one. I don't have time for that. Sorry, I'm tired, guys. So that's sold for 14 shipped. Sorry I didn't show you the model, but you'll see on the screen. I paid $1. I think it'll still go first class, just barely make it. So we'll make a little bit of money on there, but honestly not the best buy. Here's a Miami Heat. It's a youth by like Zipway or something. Something like that. It's like a little Miami Heat tracksuit. That's sold for 20 shipped. I had paid $5 at Salvation Army. Here's a Sanyo forehead VCR. This sold for 43 shipped. It is tested and worked. I think I paid $5 for that. Here is a bunch of HO scale like buildings and stuff sold as is. I bought a big train lot and there was a bunch of this stuff in there. I sold one lot already for 60 on the best offer. I had 3 in total. This one sold full price for 80 bucks. Most of these have wear, there's things wrong with them, like as you can see. Listed them in that condition, and I'm selling them as is. Someone will probably take them for parts or put them with their train stuff. Here's a Raiders Apex 1 Pro Line jacket. I paid $15 for this, I think, on Facebook Marketplace. Just thought it was super cool, and the person was really trying to get rid of it. They kept dropping the price, so we agreed on $15, and that sold for 50 or 60 shipped. Pretty good deal. I'm a sucker for sports jerseys and sports stuff. Same with video games, so even if it's not an amazing deal, I'll usually still pick it up if it's a good enough, because I like to try to find it a good home. So that's cool there. And the creme de la creme, like I mentioned, this is a Emerson. Sorry, there's the trains there. An Emerson, you probably can't see it, but it says Silver Swan. This is a fan. This thing is heavy and huge. I paid $5 for this at a garage sale. It had been late in the day. It was like 11 o'clock. It was still sitting there on a Friday. I happened to have the day off, so I rolled up there, offered her $5. She took it, and, well, I think she said, how about $5? And she said $5 or $10. I said, how about $5? She said yes. I ended up listing it just this past weekend, and it sold basically in a day or so for $325. So these things are super collectible. People like to restore them. Mine's not in the worst shape, but it's got some issues with the cord. It needs to be redone. It does work, and there's a bunch of issues in the bottom, the base of the thing. It's sticky. It's got like puncture marks in there. It really needs a good cleaning, but it does have the plate. Some people were just selling that little Emerson plate for like 15 or 20 bucks just for that little plate to replace it. So I was super happy. $325 for me seemed fair. A restored one could be $800 if it's in good shape. Some people have listed them and sold, pushing that number. So $325 though for me is good, especially because listed as is. It's heavy though. It's going to cost a good 40-50 bucks to ship it. It's going to New York, but when you only pay $5, I mean, it's just great deal. So if you guys see an Emerson Silver Swan fan, there are newer ones, but if you see an old one that definitely looks antique, look it up. Some of them do awesome. So that's the best sale. There are a couple things to show you guys after this, and I got a lot of work to do so I can get to bed. So I'll see you guys in the next. Hey everyone, final 2 sales from the weekend. 2 manuals, so pretty cool. A Toyota electrical wiring diagram for a 1982 Corolla. This one only sold for 10 shipped on a best offer, but they just weren't worth a whole lot, so I had it at 15. Someone offered 10 and I said it's there, so happy to get rid of that. Just goes in a bubble mailer. And then this 1993 Dodge rear wheel drive truck Dakota manual. This one sold for 25 shipped on a best offer, had it listed at 35. Thought that was pretty fair, so happy to get it out.